Yes, he is in resemblance to Matthew Grunwald. Definitely. Okay. So, let's see here. Oh, grief. I'm going to be getting this tightened here. Okay. Alright. So, that's that. Okay. Now, I'm going to be, maybe erasing this side of the board here, just so that we can write stuff down wherever the eraser is. There it is. I'm going to be getting rid of this because we don't need it anymore. Okay. So this is the end of the introduction. This is the end of the introduction section. So we're finishing it off now. Okay. So, yesterday we talked about, let's see what we talked about. I'm just trying to see all that we learned about yesterday. So we talked about nostalgia. We talked about the idea of nostalgia. We looked at memories of the past. We looked at memories of the past. Kind of that longing feeling, that homesickness, that fanical, imaginary, discomfort, just sad, homesick feeling that we were talking about. And so we talked about when you're watching TV shows or when you're stranded somewhere away from home, then you feel nostalgic for, that comfort and the real security and the happiness, the emotions that comes with home. And then we went on to talk about the symbols for Cancer. So we talked about what all of these words mean. Well, most of them. A couple of them I really did not know. But we talked about what bed, homesickness, soup, belonging, home cooking, birth, kinship, reproduction, collection, salt, comfort, the masses, security, insecurity, consumption, matriarchy, domesticity, well, not really, family, milk, source, tides, mom, femininity, nostalgia, home, womb, homeland, and ocean, mostly. There's a couple others that I intentionally left out. But so now we're going to be finishing. There is, let's see, how many pages? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages left, okay? So we're going to get to that, but I'm going to do something for just a second. Alright. So, now. Alright. Okay, let's get through this. So, now on page 13, at the start of the paragraph. So to give, okay? So I want you to follow along. So, to give you a little technical knowledge about Cancer, so getting into the actual astrology knowledge, I don't know what it is. I don't know. So it is a sign of on the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. It's water cardinal summer, the very, very beginning of the summer season, which is right now. Which is where the Western zodiac originates. So there's a Western zodiac, there's an Eastern zodiac. And the Eastern zodiac is very, very interesting. And here's a little bit different, as they're all named after animals. And instead of being born in particular at the end of one month and most of the next month, then one sign lasts a whole year. And all the signs year round. That's really, really interesting. So you born in the year of the snake, born in the year of the rabbit, born in the year of the dragon. So you can study up on that. So, this is the warm and sticky time of the year. And warmness and stickiness are the things that we attach to Cancer. Now, this is applying the weather and the time of year to the sign. You might think that Cancer is more appropriate for wintertime, and I can see why you say that, because if you think about the whole ideas of home and comfort and families and all those types of Cancerian things, then you would say not appropriate for summer. But because the weather is warm and sticky at the time of year, then that makes a lot of sense for Cancer, because Cancers are very, very warm. And then Capricorn, which is in winter, is very, very, it's kind of a cold sign. It's almost as if it needs to be flip-flopped. It's like having really, really rich and hearty food in the summertime, and having really, really cool, like things like ice cream, popsicles, and like fruits and veggies in the wintertime. So, that's kind of what I'm talking about there. So, it can be hard to breathe during the heat. The same way it can be claustrophobic to breathe in a tight-knit family. In a family where you don't feel as, just intimate and loved and comfortable. It's like, a family with having 10 kids instead of 2 kids. Where there's like, I know that sounds crazy, but on a Super Nanny episode, one family did have 10 kids. It can be hard to, as it said, breathe in the family. It's very, very difficult, to feel a lot of comfort, and as I said, intimacy in that family that is very, very small. The siblings with little attention, and there's a little bit more stress and more responsibilities, and home becomes more challenging, and those types of things. So those are kind of against Cancer, and there's a sensitivity there. So, make a break. So, it goes on to talk about the animal symbol of Cancer is the crab, which is the collector of shells on a beach. So crabs like if you're thinking about a crab on a beach, then it collects the shells, okay? It's like the opposite. Capricorn, the mountain goat. It's like the opposite. Capricorn, the mountain goat. So Cancer is the coochie crab that collects the shells. Capricorn is the courageous, determined, very grounded goat who climbs up the mountain and won't give up till reaching the height of it. And that mountain symbolizes life, basically. And we're going to get into a little bit of that during Capricorn season, but we won't get into a whole lot because I made it perfectly clear to you I don't have any Capricorn in my chart. So, someone else will probably be doing that, other than I, who does have it in their chart, but I do not. Let's see here. So Cancer is between the land and the water. Between the land and the water. It is soft and yummy. So the shore is between the land and the water, and the sea. It is soft and yummy on the inside, but it wears a hard shell. Think of a particular type of food that is soft and yummy on the inside, and there's a shell around it. I'll give you a hint. For those of you, for those of you, excuse me, reading that book Everlast, what does Nick permanently have on his face? Chocolate. There's a lot of countries that are famous for chocolate. Britain, our country, Mexico, has a lot of really, really unique chocolates. But another really, really famous country for chocolates is Belgium. And I was watching this one show where this woman said that it was soft and sweet and creamy on the inside, but it had the hard, crunchy, sweet shell around the side of it. So it has a shell, think about it. So yeah, it's chocolate because of how warm and how sensitive and how feeling and how wanting to get coochie and comfortable it is. And indeed, chocolate is a very, very creamy, kind of like a comfort food, kind of food that you would consider with Cancer, if you think about it. So it's talking about the crab. The crab is an introvert, any Cancers have this shell around them, that sensitivity that doesn't make them open to everybody. It takes a little bit to gain their friendship, and when you gain their friendship, they are all in with you, and they're very, very loyal, and they're very, very giving and nurturing, and those types of things. And very, very understanding. So soft and understanding and emotional and yummy inside, but with the hard shell. Think about the symbolism of that. So its claws know how to close around the object of its desire, but almost never open voluntarily. Like Mom, it has you and it never lets you go. Again, I was talking to you about the loyalty. It's when it grabs onto something that it, be friends or a friend or a family member or a child, then it has you. It'll never let you go. It's completely loyal and on your back and understanding, will do anything for you, cares, gives, nurtures, understands, basically as a master for that person that you're taking care of, or could be the other way around. So it's going to be very, very interesting when we get to the Cancer as a Child category. We're going to read up all on that, okay, which is going to be in July. So remember, June in Dominant Month is where we're going to be reading certain sections out of the introduction. Throughout the Dominant Month of the sign, we're going to be going in and reading all the little sections like Cancer as a Child and all those types of things, okay? So that's how it is going to work. But let's see. So like Mom, it has you and it will never let go. So again, that loyalty. So it goes on to talk about Cancer. So Cancer is the cardinal water sign. Now cardinal, as you know, represents get up and go. It represents control. It represents fresh starts, getting things started, kind of thing. And it is always at the very, very beginning of every season, and those 4 cardinal signs, 1 sign per each element. So Cancer is the start of summer. It is, therefore, cardinal water. Very, very interesting when you think about what cardinal means, when you think about water. It's like, that does not make sense. And air, too, you know. So, I really don't get that. But, you know, I'll probably talk about it later on. But so, anyway, Cancer is the cardinal water sign. Cardinal signs begin seasons and are represented by the 30 days after a solstice or equinox. Remember, solstices, the summer solstice, days are longer, nights are shorter. Winter solstice, days are shorter, nights are longer. Equinoxes, spring and fall, the days and the nights length are even. So, cardinal signs often have tunnel vision about it is whatever they want. Like they're very, very determined and strong and courageous, and will get anything that they want or need. If it's the last thing that they do, you know, how determined they are. One way or another. So let's see here. And Cancer can be singular in its vision. Water, the primordial substance, dissolves the weight of history. So in getting chemically and scientific, water is, I think it's called like a solute or something, but it absorbs everything. It absorbs everything except for oil. It does not absorb oil. Water and oil do not bond. Oil and water, oil and water, oil and water. There's a very, very there's a song called Oil and Water. And it means 2 people who just don't get along, don't bond, don't connect, whatever it is. So, but water absorbs everything, like Cancer absorbs, like that person's talking, or that person's personality, and those types of things. So, you know, think about how the symbolism and how the element, you know, connects to the actual person of a sign, and the astrology, tying all those things in. So, let's see. So dissolves the weight of history. Dissolves the weight of history. Yes, it dissolves everything. Water holds all genetic memory together. A couple of things that I want to talk about for that. Let's see here. So, one thing that I just found is that if you remember seeing Frozen 2, then you remember hearing Olaf, you know, the snowman, you know, with his, like, growing up and saying all those trivial facts, and one of the fun facts that he said is, water holds memory, and indeed that was probably the most important one of the entire movie. Water holds memory, you know, with that song, with that with that water that Elsa was sailing through and across to get to the to Holland, whatever it is, to find her family and to find the voice that was calling her. So water holds memories of the past. Memories go by, what happened back, what happened in the past. Okay, they could never happen forward. So that's something that I want to say. So now we're going to be talking about Cancer ruling planet, which is the moon. Okay, so our moon rules Cancer. The moon is responsible for the powerful waves that crash around you when you get to the ocean. So the powerful waves that crash around you when you get to the ocean. We're going to find out why. It's responsible for cycles of warming and cooling. Warming and cooling. There's also the water cycle. With all the different steps and the processes and everything. It's like water evaporates, and then what happens is and then it falls to the ground and condensates and then run off, and then the cycle just goes over and over and over again, and there's like different steps of it, kind of like this motion. You see what I'm doing with my fingers? It's like this is kind of the stage of the whole cycle. It's like this kind of motion there, but that's the best I can do. So that's the water cycle. You probably know the water cycle, okay, a little bit, because that's the element that we're talking about, is the element of water. There's actually a scene in Scooby-Doo where they travel through all the different elements. It's like the Scooby-Doo in the Samurai Sword, I think it's called. Let's see here. So it's responsible for cycles of warming and cooling. We already talked about that. The moon changes its shape every day and makes a cycle every 28.5 days. So it changes its shape every day. Like there's a day where there's like the super moon, which really really bright. Sometimes you see the full moon. Sometimes you see a half moon kind of thing. And also, when a planet goes retrograde, it lasts for a certain number of months and days. So Venus got out of its retrograde. It was in retrograde. Well, it went back a sign. And remember, when there's a retrograde, the planet goes back, and it's also time to slow down, okay, and self-reflect during a retrograde. And I don't know, it's like I don't know the tiations and the connections of those two, but whatever. So it's a luminary. That's why they probably that's why the author probably put the word luminary because of the moon, because it's luminescent, meaning that it has a light, that it lights up a little bit, and probably at night as well, because the moon comes out at night. So, borrowing light from the sun and making brightness luminescent instead of direct. Taking light from the sun, and making it like bright, but not like sunlight bright. Okay? And I realize that I am tired of standing up. I'm gonna get a chair and sit down. So that we can get through this without me having to stand up and do this. Okay. There, that's better. Okay. Now then. Now, so let's see here. We might not get through all of the introduction today. So we might come back on the 29th and finish this off. So when it is new, it follows the sun and rises during the day. So following the sun. So the sun rises during the day, and then the moon rises. It comes out at night. Okay. When it is tilted to be full, it has its own wane at night. Sometimes it's a full moon. And when there's a full moon, when the moon is full and not like that little half crescent or whatever, then the sun and the moon are on opposite signs. That's what they mean by a full moon. I was born during a full moon, generally speaking, and about to not be. So, let's see here. So the moon is a satellite of Earth and often a symbol of our final frontier. So, it's popular in popular sci-fi novels. We often imagine the moon as a site of colonization, a place to grow when Earth has been consumed, with Mars as a source of invasion. So if there was like aliens who come to the Earth and take it over, then we can go to the moon, generally. Thus, Cancer the Swallower has to do with cultural colonization, consumption, and consumerism. Culture, settling, creating villages, towns, cities, getting into custom with way of living everything, buying, eating, and also selling and technology and resources as well. So, so it says in Hellenistic astrology, I don't know what that is, the moon is associated with fortune. Fortune in those days was a bit different than how we think of it now. As opposed to spirit, fortune in Hellenistic times governed the physical body and its yearnings and satisfactions. So the moon had to do with physical body in terms of its needs and longings and wants and cravings, and also what satisfies us, what's comfortable and everything. The body of a changeable thing. It's interesting because Cancer is not mutable. So the full moon that happens during Cancer season, the 30 days of each year when the sun is in Cancer is always in Capricorn. Remember, as I said again, the full moon, sun and moon are in opposite signs. So the opposite complementary sign of a sign is 6 away, 6 forward or back from that sign. Okay, it's always that way, okay? If you think about the math of it. So, 6 away and 6 back from Cancer is Capricorn. And we're going to be talking about that polarity. Also on the what's it called? Jeff Henshaw. He makes podcasts, and get past what he says at the beginning, because it does have a cuss word in it, but I'm sure that he does podcasts on Cancer Capricorn polarity, so you can look at that if you want to. And he might have some good information. And also the full moon didn't happen yet. It's going to happen here. Well, let's see here. let's see. So Cancer's qualities are reflected by Capricorn. Remember, every sign evolves and grows and upgrades through the opposite sign and through what it's squaring also. So Cancer's qualities are reflected by Capricorn. Qualities such as what security may mean and what one's place in the world is. So, Cancer is the home, the family, the mother, the security, okay, and the emotional. And then Capricorn is public prestige, place in the world, purpose. How do I serve humanity? How do I make a difference? How do I serve? What is my career? Going with discipline and traditions and groundedness and commitments and all those types of Capricornian things that we're not going to be looking at. If we do look at them, then we'll look at them through the book of Cancer or another season. But so the closest thing that we're going to be on the closest sign that we're going to be doing to Capricorn is probably Virgo. Just saying. So we glimpse Cancer in the myth of Saturn, which stands for Capricorn, when he swallows his children. So Capricorn is the cold, Cancer is the warm, Cancer is the mother, Capricorn is the father. So that'll be good for now. Actually, I lied. We're not going to finish it. On the 29th, we're going to be finishing the introduction up. Okay, so on June 29th, so that's in 2 days from now. Okay, now I want to see what time it is so that we'll... Oh, it's 10... Oh my goodness, alright. Oh, okay. I planned at 10:30 to 10:45, but apparently time flew by. Like I really had no idea that it was 10:53 already. So we've got to get over there. We're going to be meeting them. We might be a little bit later, and we might have to push lunch till about like 1:15 or whatever. We'll see. Maybe it won't take long to get over there, and maybe they have less in mind for us, because they said that they didn't have a whole lot, but they did have a good, decent, reasonable